Welcome to day 17. Today we're going to be talking about and showing you exactly what a DM setter does and how we take conversations in the DMs and turn them into booked calls with warm leads all through the DMs. I'm going to walk you through the flow. I'm going to show you some examples, and at the end I'm going to show you a prompt you can basically give ChatGPT so you can practice yourself, even if you've never done sales in your life. So before we get into the actual framework, what is DM appointment setting, right? So you're not cold DMing strangers. You're starting conversations with people who have liked the post, followed the page, commented on a reel or whatever, or engaged with, for example, Instagram DM advertisement. And your job is to basically start the conversation casually, ask the prospect, the lead, the person who's interested, the right questions in order to qualify them, and then you invite them to book a call. You are the bridge between the attention that these influencers and online businesses are getting and the conversion on the sales call that the closer obviously is responsible for. So without you, leads are just sitting there, right? So you are a key cog to the machine. So you're extremely well valued by the business owner, which is obviously super important. So before we get into, like I said, the framework, I want to go over also some do's and don'ts of things that you need to remember when you are appointment setting. So firstly, in terms of don'ts, right? We don't want to send big paragraphs. You want to break up your messages like they're real conversations. So when you're speaking with your friends in the DMs, for example, you don't send big fat messages. You spread them out a little bit, right? And you need to do this in your DM appointment setting as well, because this is going to basically make it feel like a real conversation rather than like you following a script or whatever. On top of that, you don't want to just ask question after question, right? It's not a survey. You reply like a friend. So for example, if you ask what they're doing and they tell you what they're doing, you react to what they've said and then you ask the question. So you keep it conversational. Don't explain too much about what it is that you guys do and what you're selling, right? That's not your job. Your job is to book the call. And the way that you do that is you leverage curiosity. Call is where the magic happens, and the call is where the explaining and all of that is meant to happen. So you don't do that in the DMs, because otherwise you can kind of turn someone who would have booked in and potentially closed into someone who looks at what you've said and kind of runs away with it. And that's not really what we want to do. We want to obviously maximize for conversions, maximize for money, right? Something to remember as well is don't give up, right? Naturally, when you are DMing people, they might not reply to you, they might error you, and you need to look at it in the right way. In the next couple of days, because I've already planned them, we're going to talk about the mindset that you need when it comes to appointment setting and the way you need to kind of look at it. And it's important to note that if you get aired or left on red, it isn't against you. No one is going against you. It's purely just how the game works. Sometimes when you're messaging your friends, they'll leave you on red. It's because they might open the message when they're busy, whatever. It can be a bunch of different reasons. So it's important that we follow up. It's important that we regroup and we try a new angle maybe that wasn't necessarily working because they left it on red, right? Typically, what I explain to my clients is when you are getting left on red, it's because you are not engaging them enough. You're not interesting them enough. So you need to make the conversation flow a bit better and ask better questions. And don't be intimidated by people either, right? If someone has a big following, there's no reason to be intimidated by them. They're just people. They're normal people. And if they followed, if they interacted with a DM ad, or they've DM'd you to get a training, or they've commented to get a training, it's you have a solution to a problem they clearly have, because they've obviously followed, interacted, engaged for something, right? They've done it for a reason. So always come from that position of I am the authority here, and it's my job to help this person, okay? Now, what do we want to do? We want to use our personality, right? We want to be curious. We want to be humorous. We want to be direct, right? No fluff, no waffle. We want to, like I said, keep the conversation engaging. So be a human, right? Be yourself. Because if the conversation flows naturally, it's okay to go off script. Like, this is not, like, you cannot script conversations. And the script is just to provide you, and the framework is just to provide you with, some guidance. But if you're following this to a T, you're not going to be a great appointment setter. The best appointment setters are the ones that can navigate conversations no matter what happens. And you want to talk to them like a normal person, right? Not like a telemarketer, not like a salesperson. Like, genuinely just talk to them like a person and have an open conversation. It's important that you apply light pressure, when needed. For example, you could say something along the lines of like, look, if this is something that you're serious about, I'd recommend jumping on a call with us and booking one of our slots before the calendar fills, for example, right? And a final thing to remember as well is you want to mirror their energy, right? So relate where possible, show empathy, because it's important that you do that in a way that allows them to see that you have been where they are, right? And because typically, right, when you work with a business or an influencer or whatever, the reason why they're an expert and they solve that problem is because they've typically had that problem themselves. For example, with me, right, I'm a high-ticket sales coach. I help people become appointment setters and closers, and I partner with businesses to help them land roles. The reason I do this is because I had a problem of getting into the industry and landing high-quality roles consistently. So that is the solution. I provide people. And yeah, like I said, it's important that I'm able to relate with people. So when I'm on sales calls or when I'm in the DMs, I am relating to these people because I've been where you are. I have. So it's completely understandable that you're where you are, and just know that, it's very achievable to get there if you put the work in, right? So here is the flow that we are basically going to be working on. So in essence, right, what we're doing here is we are starting the conversation casually, right? So say something along the lines of hey, name, appreciate the follow. You can even start with how's everything going with you? Right, that can be the opener. It can also be something along the lines of, hey, name, appreciate the comment. I saw that you commented for the training. Are you currently working in XYZ? So, I don't know, let's say you work for a fitness coach, right? Potentially. You can be like, hey, Josh, appreciate the follow. How's everything going with your fitness journey so far? Or, hey, Josh, I saw that you commented for the 6-pack in 6 weeks training. Is it cool if I just ask you a couple questions to make sure you get the most out of it, right? Open the conversation. Make sure that you are normal sounding, right? And you want to separate your messages as well. So think about it like this. Every comma or full stop, obviously this is a bit different, but you could even separate it here, but I wouldn't. Every comma, every full stop, you kind of want to separate, right? To, like I said, keep it conversational, separate messages, super important. Then once you've opened the conversation, they are then going to reply, obviously, and then you basically reflect to what they've said, and you then ask this question. So, for example, again, if they are, let's say, for this example, we're going to do fitness coaching, right? So let's say, are you already in your fitness journey? How's your fitness journey going? And they're it's going okay. I'd like to achieve better results. That's why I want the training. Nice, dude. Love that you're wanting to achieve more. I think that's great. With kind of your fitness journey right now, are you already, going to the gym, or are you really looking to get started with that? Right? That could be a great question to ask to kind of get more clarity around their situation. Then you reflect and you reply to what they say about that, and you say, okay, so what's the big goal for you over the next 3 to 6 months in terms of fitness? Oh, I want to lose XYZ amount of pounds, or I want to be in this shape, or I want to look like this person, right? Okay, cool. And just so I can kind of understand that picture a little bit better, my man, where are you right now in comparison to your goal? Yeah, so like around like 40 pounds away from where I want to be. Like I want to, actually be happy when I look in the mirror, etc., etc., etc. You just want to get a better understanding of where they are right now. And then it's as simple as being like, okay, well, what do you feel like you need most in order to hit that goal, right? What do you feel like you need to do to, lose 40 pounds in 3 months? Oh, help, right? And you'll notice, right, with this need question, when you ask these questions, because of how the content will be done by the business owner and the influencer and the coach and the consultant, whatever you want to call them, because of how the content will be made, you will be attracting people who want help, right? So they will always pretty much say like help, mentorship, guidance, something along those lines. And then you pretty much just invite them to a call, you drop the link, and then you pretty much, you can create some urgency when you create the link, when you drop the link, which is like a booking link. So like if you book before 6 p.m. today, I can send you over some training material or some resources that'll give you a head start before we talk. Then they book in, and then you confirm it for them, right? You confirm the time just to make sure that they are booked in for the right time. Now, this is just a very rough framework. Like I said, the key thing that we want to be doing at all times is making sure it's conversational, but this is literally like what the framework typically looks like most of the time. So yeah, just make sure to like pause, write this down, and yeah, basically get the most out of this, because this is basically the framework that you want to do. But like I said, before you ask the questions, you keep it conversational, and yeah, that's about it for this. And now we're going to look at it in a bit more action, and I'm going to show you the prompt to use to train on ChatGPT. Okay, so here is the prompt, as you guys can see. So I'm a DM appointment setter looking to practice my skills. Say I sell for a drop shipping coach, right? So you would insert the niche here, who helps 9-to-5ers make money online to achieve freedom. Okay, you're not skip through a little bit because you've been watching videos about drop shipping and so this is like the rough kind of thing you want to put. So like I sell, and then you insert your niche, and you can probably talk about who you help as well. So this is called your ICP, right? So if you put niche and ICP, it just provides ChatGPT with a little bit more clarity. And then you'll be like, you follow the account because our offer solves a pain point you have. And yeah, this is pretty much it. You could maybe even add, your name is John, you're interested but not fully sold yet, which is why you're talking with me, and my aim is to book you onto a call. So take a screenshot of that and just like copy and paste it to kind of like get a better feel for it. And yeah, let's just get this rocking and rolling. So, to be like, hey, John, appreciate the follow. Are you interested in drop shipping, or was it the curls that won you over? This is just humor, right? This works quite well because it acts as like a pattern interrupt, right? Pattern interrupt in sales is super, super important. I'm separating this. This would be like two different messages. So yeah, basically, hey John, appreciate follow. Are you interested in drop shipping, or is it the curls that won you over? This is starting the conversation. I'm leading it where I want it to go. Obviously, this guy, John, who has followed us, has solely followed us because he's interested in drop shipping. So we want to take it down there. So we obviously lead with that, and obviously it's not the curls that won you over, right? Obviously I've got curls, so that's why I say that. But yeah, that's pretty much the reason for that. Like I said, it's a pattern interrupt, and it works really well. So let's see how ChatGPT replies. You can do the other one, just trying to figure out something I could basically do alongside 9 to 5. About that, man. I was in the same shoes as you. You don't want to talk about yourself too much, because then you're going to open yourself like up to questioning. So like ask you questions about yourself, and that's not really what you want. So just maybe say a little bit about this. So this is, like I said, the reflection, and then we're going to be like we can do like the this or that, which is basically kind of understanding a little bit more about where they're at now. Are you already, or have you already? Actually, no. Are you already drop shipping, or are you looking to get started? Just consider content, watching what you do. Honestly, your coaches. Where's contact sheet? Makes sense, my man. Okay, again, that's like the reflection. But as you can see, right, it's like going quite well. Like I said, this is a great kind of prompt to give ChatGPT to practice and so on. The Wi-Fi here isn't the best. To be fair, it would be better inside. It's just very hot, so I would rather be outside right now. I'm in Italy at the moment. Just got here this morning. The little year of summer. Staying in like a nice bit in like the countryside. It's amazing. So quiet, and I absolutely love it. And the house has Starlink, so we can work without any problems. But right now I'm a bit far away from that. What I'm going to do is I probably will move inside now, just so it has a better connection and we can finish this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's the goal. Obviously what we've got out of it. So I've made myself smaller just so you can see it a little bit better. Then the next thing we want to do now is basically see where they are at now. So here, for me, honest, love it's defo. Feel free to use slang, obviously. Achievable, like I said. You don't want to like do this too much, like as long as you're this, because then you might scare someone as well from it. Like you don't want to make it seem like it's such a big transformation that they're about to overcome. You want to normalize it for them, because if you make it seem like it's such a big thing, then they are probably like not going to do it, because they're going to get in their own head. So like I said, now we're basically going to get where he's at now. So we have his goal. You be making an extra 3K extra, he said few, not 3, earned a month. So how much? You basically need to word it in the right way, because you want to financially qualify him basically now by understanding, like, okay, is he making an income? Like, how much is he making? Because if you're selling a service that's like $5,000 or $4,000 or $3,000, you obviously can't be selling that to someone who's unemployed most of the time. You're not going to book someone in a calendar who doesn't have the finances to do this. So it's super important that you financially qualify them to a point. You want to be making an extra few grand a month. So where are you at with your income? So I'm just going to ask, like, how much you're making. Perfect. Don't hesitate with this. No, I've been looking at something, just want to get 100%, man. It can seem no, I don't want to say that. 100%, man. Again, just relating. And so now we'll ask, like, for what do they feel like you need? Okay. Planning someone to guide me a bit. There's so much around me, right? Love that, man. Like, you'll see I'm kind of like saying, man, love that. So it's just, that's just my brain, how it works. But we're going to do something different. Like I said, you don't want to make it sound like it's a bot. So what I'll say is, here is like, glad you feel that way. Are you opposed to getting, I wouldn't say this actually, I would go straight for, I hate to be forward, but I feel like we can help you achieve your goal, your again, this is important in sales. It's called looping, so it's repeating back what they've said. It's good to do that. What you're looking for. Would you like to jump quick call? And this is where we're going to get the booking. Yes. Perfect. We drop the booking link now, book him in, confirm the time, boom. And it's literally, I'm not going to lie, like, this is why this prompt is so good, because this is literally what the conversations will look like. Obviously, if it's the right business and all of that stuff, that is the caveat, because some businesses are crap. Naturally, the same way how in the 9-to-5 world you have good businesses and bad businesses, it's the same in the online space. So this is typically what like a good conversation looks like for an online business that you want to be working for. So like I said, this is the prompt to give them, right? This is super valuable stuff. Like a lot of people will say like, oh, you need to practice with someone, whatever. Like AI is good enough nowadays. This ChatGPT is completely free. I have the premium version that I pay for because I use it so much, but this is pretty solid. Like the prompt, you just use it, paid or not paid, you'll get a very good outcome. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. DM setting, breaking it all down. Obviously, I specialize with closing. We're going to go into a lot more detail when it comes to that. But yeah, this is basically DM appointment setting, and it's a lot of fun. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.